Good evening, we're starting the Lawrence Licensing Board meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody is present. Awesome, okay.
Now we're going through the item number 3.
And this is at
A common vic license.
common vic license at 97-101 Essex Street.
It used to be a Cesar restaurant location.
Mhm. Thank you. I don't have any current questions. This is pretty straightforward. Commissioner Lear, do you have any
I
questions?
have a couple of questions and they're gonna be answered real quick. First of all, I've been at a Brazilian restaurant before in TBD, the Lions, and they keep bringing the steaks out to you.
Same exact thing.
Same idea, right?
Same idea.
What's it cost?
We have a menu. We have a draft menu.
Maybe you don't give prices.
The cost analysis not done yet, but it will be at some point. But they're definitely gonna keep it, I mean, put it this way, part of the deal for him to do this is to keep it as non-expensive as possible.
Okay.
Because it's gonna be a family restaurant.
Yeah.
So you wanna expect, families to come with their kids. So you wanna keep that a little bit down, still make money, but
My second question is, what are your hours gonna be?
so the hours, based on what I was told, it was gonna be between, the pre-prep is gonna start early. They're gonna open for lunch and they're gonna close at 9 o'clock.
Oh, good. Well, I was worried about them bringing dancing and putting the music in there.
Well, on the, as I understand, when we get to the liquor license, while the restaurant, the food service will be shutting down, we come to apply in a few weeks for the liquor license, those are some extended hours.
What, I mean?
So so the restaurant will be shutting down at 9 o'clock,
Yeah.
but in our liquor license application, which, beyond 2 weeks from now, we have extended hours for that for liquor service, after the restaurant closes.
Yeah.
My problems is that I don't mind if they sit and have a couple of drinks there, and that, I don't want another disco dance or anything like that in there. This is gonna be a restaurant, and we're gonna try to restrict it from now on from having dances and having all these fights we have on Broadway and Essex Street.
I don't think there's room for dancing.
Well, no, I don't know what happens on this floor here, there's a bunch of space there.
No, that's the roof.
That's the rule.
Oh, this is a rooftop?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right.
I got you.
Yeah.
You made the, a little bit big, I can read it.
I know.
Someone with small handwriting opened this one. No, as long as it's just a couple of drinks and I have no problems. Every Brazilian restaurant I've been to has been a gold mine, as long as the food's good, you know what I mean?
Well, that's why they're looking for the food permit first, because I guess they're gonna, start preparing the foods and they're gonna bring people to taste it before they actually do an opening. And we were invited, so.
Great. Great.
I have no more questions.
Lieutenant Olivieri,
Probably have no questions.
Lieutenant Frias.
We did an inspection of the property for the sprinkler system, and we didn't have any objections or any concerns, so best of luck, hopefully it goes well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll make a motion, we approve this common vic license.
I'll second it.
And we'll see you in a couple of weeks. in liquor.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Commissioner Lamb made a motion to approve a Solas Brazilian Steakhouse and Bar, 97-101 Essex Street, second by Commissioner Morales. Commissioner Lamb, how do you vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Morales, how do you vote?
Yes.
Motion passed. Congratulations and good luck. Welcome
Thank
to the
you.
city of Lawrence.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you guys in a couple of weeks.
See you.
All right.
Have a good night.
Thank you.
So this is, the next one is a
The liquor store.
transfer.
Yeah. Do
Okay.
you check all the information that I sent about this?
Yes,
You got it, right?
I did all of
Okay,
it.
good, thank you. I'm gonna put one group here
Yeah.
and the other group on the other side.
Okay, great.
Ok, vengan, a mí, ustedes se ponen de este lado, o sea. Ya yo vamos a poner de ese lado.
Okay. Hello.
¿Cómo están?
Muy bien, gracias. ¿Cómo están ustedes?
Muy bien.
Muy bien. sorry, it's a very small space.
Yeah.
Hello. How are you? Good.
Let me see, that's there.
That's his seat, you can't take his seat.
Okay, great. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. For this portion, we do have some public participation, so I think I'm going to let, some of the business owners, share their perspective, and then we'll come to your application.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
They're gonna speak in Spanish.
Okay, y yo puedo traducir. So, cuando estén listos, ustedes pueden comenzar.
O Jim puede empezar en inglés
Sí.
y luego continúan ellos.
Okay, Jean, would you like to begin in English and then I'll be able to translate for them? Just your comments? Yes,
I'd like to hear what they have to say, why they're applying for this license.
okay.
We can do it after.
Yeah, you can do it that way too.
Either way, sounds great. So if you guys can tell us a little bit about your application, your business, et cetera. Thank
Sure,
you.
and thank you for having us.
Of course.
Good evening. My name is Adam Barnowski. I'm here on behalf of Route 28 LLC. With me is Devin Body and Narendra Barvalia, who's the owner and the proposed manager of record. So we are here regarding the applicant's request for a transfer of a all alcoholic beverage off-premise license. This is gonna come from Beraldi Enterprises, Inc., doing business as Beacon Hill Wine and Spirits at 280 Merrimack Street. The owner is here from that location. As the board may be aware, Sam's is a neighborhood convenience store. It's located at 385 Broadway, with business address of 389 Broadway. So this is a small independently owned business. That being said, Sam's Food Store, the brand, has over 200 locations across New England and Canada. The current owners took over the business about 5 years ago. As part of their ownership, they're trying to turn it into more of a gourmet convenience store, a market, someplace where you can get prepared foods, cheeses, other things. And as part of that, they want to incorporate the sale of alcohol as part of the upgrade. As the board might be aware, the property is located on Broadway. It's just north of the Cross Street intersection. It contains one floor, 2,625 square feet of retail space with one entrance to means of egress. Essentially one retail location when you walk in. It's a storage room, a restroom, point of sale. The proposed liquor inventory is gonna be somewhat limited. Like I said, this is gonna be one component of a broader array of items. There'll be one cooler that'll be located next to the point of sale that'll have cold beer and wine. And then they'll have wine and some alcohol behind the counter. Pros manager of record, Narendra, he is well experienced with this sort of business. He's ran this business at this location for 5 years. He also has a beer and wine license in Beverly that he's ran for several years. There have been no issues with the local municipality of the ABCC there, no underage drinking. They do have a scanner at that location they use for alcohol, all points of sale. Anyone buying alcohol gets carded. He'll be on site full time. We did provide his resume and experience in the application. Turning to the idea of public need, I know that as a license commission here, you always think about public need when you're looking at a new license. The property is located in the main commercial corridor in the city. It's with the B2 zoning district. This area consists primarily, not exclusively, retail and commercial businesses. And while there are other locations in the area with alcohol sales, there are none on the western side of Broadway. And the other licensed stores, they are different in nature from what we're proposing here, either a full-service liquor store or a supermarket that serves beer and wine. It's also worth noting, I know that Lawrence, like many communities, you have liquor stores in certain areas. Most of the time they mirror what your commercial corridors look like. There are certain clusters of licenses throughout the city. Here, if you actually look on the map of your off-premise and on-premise, there are clusters in the city where there are more licenses. And notably, just south of the Merrimack River, where this license is coming from, you're actually taking a license from a larger cluster of off-premise licenses and moving it to an area where there are less. So I think it's worth noting. It's also just, again, worth noting, this is not the creation of a liquor store. You're creating an amenity for an existing business. No new traffic, there's already parking there, there's customer base. We think this will be a nice amenity for folks that already come there. So with that being said, we're happy to dive into any other questions you might have and talk about anything else. Thank you.
Okay, great.
Well, do
Yeah.
you guys wanna say anything?
Of course, at this point, I'd like to say, obviously, not to tell the commissions how to do their job and what they need to consider, but there is a reason why there's a litmus test for why these licenses are issued. It's a need basis. And if you look at the need basis, you have a liquor store 400 feet down the street. You have a beer and wine grocery store and prepared food stores that they own on the other side, on the corner of Acton Street, only 600 feet away. Furthermore, you have on Manchester Street, Caribbean, that has a beer and wine. To the west, as the gentleman just referred, at the corner of Hampshire and Park Street, you have a full liquor license. If you go down to Lawrence Street, which is not that far away either, another liquor license, and further up. Now, I don't even know why this is being considered. I thought that we have a zoning bylaw of 1,000 feet from another establishment. So, did they get zoning relief to come before you? Did they get zoning relief?
I can answer that after you get
Thank
done.
you.
Yeah, thank you.
They did?
And I'll answer that after you get done talking, okay?
Okay.
You can answer the
So,
question.
I'm assuming they didn't get zoning relief because I heard that zoning rejected their application. So if the application was rejected, how do they have the right to even come before you to apply for a beer, wine, or full liquor license? If that's the case, something went awry, something was dropped in between this process. So hopefully, in consideration of this transfer, you'll see what I'm talking about, and you will deny this. And in denying this, I am sure that they will probably appeal to the ABCC. And hopefully the ABCC will see the wisdom of your decision and perhaps correct the decision or the lack of filing properly on the part of the zoning board. So I don't know exactly what happened between the zoning board and whatever else procedure was supposed to happen, but there's really no reason for this to be happening. Especially when there's so many licenses right around.
I just want to stop you for a minute.
Thank you, sir.
I'd like you to give your name and what business you have, so it's on the record.
Oh, I'm sorry, Gene Espinola. I own Broadway Liquors at 134 Broadway.
Yeah.
I reside at 52 Anderson Drive in Tingsboro, Massachusetts.
Okay.
Thank you.
You can continue, but I just
No,
want.
I'm pretty much, I think it's a pretty open and closed situation. I mean, if there was a need, I mean, if you have 1,000, 2,000 square, you have at the corner of Haverhill and Broadway, you have a liquor store, which is now Fernandez, which has been there for such a long time, I forget the name of what it was before. Go a little bit further up the street, you got Primo's Liquors at the corner of Oxford and Haverhill. I mean, we're just inundated. I don't think there's a need for another. If that license was issued for where it was issued, fine, it's issued, it's properly issued, whatever. There's no reason to transfer it, there's no need. It's all about a need, right? It's a need-based situation. That's all we need.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You guys want to say something?
Sí. Y yo le puedo traducir, por favor, me dan
Ok, gracias.
la oportunidad.
Yo creo que son muchos licor.
Espérese, hermano, su nombre y el negocio de usted.
Ok, José Mena, y el negocio se llama RD Supermarket. Vendemos cerveza, vino, y estamos localizados en la 354 de la Brody.
Yeah, Jose Mena, they have RD, a supermarket where they sell wine and beer y licor también.
No, solo vinos y cerveza.
Wine and beer, y es un supermercado, so it's like a grocery store as well, and su dirección,
354 Brody.
355 Broadway Street.
Tienes comidas preparadas.
Sí.
And they do prepared food as well.
Es un vecindario muy pequeño para mucho licor junto. Cada día la venta baja más.
Yeah, it's a very small business for more liquor stores to be added, and he feels like every day the business is shrinking in the area. Exactly.
Sí, yo creo que estamos muy cerca todos.
I think that we're all really close to where we are. Eso es todo, hermano.
Sí, sí, él quiere decir algo, mi hermano.
No, no, está bien, lo suficiente, es lo
Okay.
mismo.
I just asked him if that was all, and, he said no, that they're good, we're just here, to represent their business.
So you're against it, right?
Yes, I'm against.
Gracias. Okay, Commissioner Lear?
Yeah, I have some questions, okay? I just wanna put this on the record. South Broadway and North Broadway is one long street. The only difference is goes across the river, okay? We have 18 or 19 liquor store licenses in the city. On South Broadway and North Broadway, 8 store liquor licenses are on that thing. That's like 50% of our liquor licenses on one street, okay? Well, Mass law does not imply the regulation about 1,000 feet like we do, but our zoning law does, okay? So, zoning board heard your case, and they did not address it in a normal bit of time, or did not file it, or did not give you a copy, and you want it on appeal. The reason for the $1,000 feet is to stop the major problems in that area, right? To stopping the business from being over-concentrated with liquor stores and or bars and everything else, right? But going back to the old time in the city, I've been a police officer in the city for 33 years. And I remember Jack in the Box, which was near you.
Yeah,
And then it's Kenneth's Paint, and then there's your business, okay? I remember when I used to be on the detail at the Jack in the Box or Store 24 until 5 o'clock in the morning because of the problems over there. The people from the Jack in the Box would cause problems, and they did it, your Store 24, and be a constant problem. Up until a couple of years ago, there were still problems over there. I haven't heard anything lately about it. The other problem is, these stores have to close at 11 o'clock, except the day before a holiday, they can close at 11:30. Your business is open until 1, 5 o'clock in the morning, and whatever time it is, right? How are you gonna stop the liquor from coming in there? You're gonna have kids, 21, 22, seeing it, and they're gonna wanna take it out, and you're gonna have a problem. And that's a problem that they can't have, because they have to close at 11, well, you're open till 11:30, or 11 o'clock, or 1 o'clock. I see a lot of problems with this, congestion. I think of the public safety there, the people with the foods and drinking and everything else in there. When I look at 8 liquor stores on one street, and on the side street, like you said, on Manchester Street, when you go up a little further, on Havel Street, go the other way, they're all over the place, liquor stores. It's gotta come to a stop, it cannot go there. I'm not against you getting a liquor license. I would say get a liquor license. But as far as me, I cannot see you going there. Now, the zoning law made a mistake. They didn't put the reported time. Since they put a report, you get a waiver on that. But it's up to us now to confirm it or not, and I just can't see us approving it.
So, I understand where you're coming from, sir. We've owned the business for about 5 years. Since we bought the business, we've cut down our hours of operations. We close at midnight on weekdays and we open at 7 a.m. currently in the mornings. The reason for that is because, right now we're a convenience store and we don't have liquor, so we have to bring in customers somehow. And that's by opening early and closing late so people can get their last minute items. In terms of the timing, we plan on adjusting our timing to adhere to local and state laws. Same thing around holidays, being closed on Thanksgiving and Christmas. We're not gonna be one of those stores where we lock the cooler doors after a certain time or whatever. We're gonna follow the rules, we're gonna follow the time blocks and all of that. Since we've acquired the store, I know you talked about police calls and how there's been a decrease in all of that. And that's because, number one, our hours are reduced, and also we take pride in being there and being a part of our business. We're there every single day. Me and him work 7 days a week. I own 5 other liquor stores throughout the state. He only has a beer and wine license in Beverly. I'm down from Cape Cod all the way till, Woburn and North Andover, in fact. And we have procedures in place where every single alcohol sale is carded. Each ID is scanned. We want to make sure we're doing the right job. We don't want alcohol in the wrong hands because we don't want nuisance. I grew up in Lawrence. I've been in Lawrence since 2007. right? I've been in Lawrence for 15 years now. And I know the city really well. I know the people really well, and I know the culture of Lawrence. And the culture of Lawrence is, you know, in the evening when you're grabbing a loaf of bread or a gallon of milk, yeah, I'll grab a bottle of wine to enjoy with my family and things of that sort. Or yeah, I'll grab a cold six-pack. We don't want to be a neighborhood packy. You know, we're not going to be displaying nips and pints and half pints and all of that. We just want to have something else that our customers can find and shop around for. And that's the main premise. There's a reason why in our floor plan, all the liquor is behind the counter, our cooler is next to the counter, so we can avoid all of the nuisance that comes from, you know, alcoholic beverages, you know. And I want to reiterate the fact that we plan on being responsible. We understand that there was the zoning situation and that, you know, because of some part of their communication process, things had fell through. And us being business owners, we have the right to appeal the fact that, you know, the ball was dropped on some page. It's not that we're trying to take advantage of your guys' rules and regulations. We just had an opportunity to appeal, and that's what we had done because we want to care for our business. And at the end of the day, you know, we're not trying to create competition. We're just trying to give something else for our customers as an additional item when they walk into our doors, you know. And yeah, if there's any other questions.
There is, I'm not done talking,
Yeah.
but let me put it this way, you're only 400 feet from his business.
Correct.
You're 600 feet from these people's business.
Correct.
And they haven't been notified, the abutters haven't been notified yet, okay? So there might be other people who complain, and there's also a neighborhood there. And they're gonna be, you know, hearing this, and it's a gang problem here in the city. And I ain't the first one minute, this officer will tell you there's a gang problem in the city. If you've been here this long, you know. And they're gonna come in, they're gonna want beer and do what they want, and they're gonna force you or give you a hard time. You don't need that there. The city, the Broadway don't need it, and especially the Jack in the Box don't need it. You don't need to bring the hassle and complaints back to this. If you were up by the Bethune line, I'd say, beautiful, move up there, have it. If you wanna go to another location, I would say, you can go any place you want, other than Broadway right now. I cannot see us giving all our liquor licenses to Broadway, and South Broadway and North Broadway. That is gonna stop. You know, there's other streets in the city, you know, there's other locations, but I don't know if you wanna buy another location or what. That's not my problem. My problem is the public safety here. My problem is the over congestion of the business, and you're too close to the reference to Lawrence's zoning laws. I look at all these things, and I'm against it, but I'll let anybody else speak.
Go ahead.
Could I speak? So, my name is Rebecca Baraldi. I'm the license holder of the license that's in question of being transferred. Just a couple of things that I just wanted to say. Obviously, I can't speak to your crime issue in Lawrence, and I can appreciate that. I can, however, speak to competition and overcongestion. I've been in the liquor industry for 27 years now. I owned a store that was one of 15 within 2 streets. And initially I was going to address you and just say, I've had stores directly across the street from me. I've had stores 3 doors down from me. Competition is good for business. I can tell you that as a business owner. Because you find ways to be creative and to evolve and to find your niche. Because as business owners, we all sometimes become complacent. So I can tell you, I've owned in 3 communities, and I was overpopulated in all of them. Even where my license is right now, liquor store 400 feet to my right, liquor store 400 feet to my left.
Merrimack Street?
Yeah.
What is the liquor store?
Hafner's gas station and I don't remember the name of it.
E-Market.
E-Market. And had I known, in full transparency, I probably wouldn't have built there, had I known, but I didn't know. Now, that being said, that has nothing to do with why I am looking to transfer the license. But I can tell you from my experience in Melrose and in Boston. So in Melrose, my competitor was directly across the street from me, directly. I wasn't happy, but they allowed it, and you know what? I was okay. In Boston though, 15 18 stores between Charles Street and Cambridge Street.
I can't answer to that. I will say this is not Boston, this is not Melrose.
Fair.
This is Lawrence.
Yeah,
okay?
that's why I can't
We
speak to
only
your
allow,
client.
we only allow 18 and 19 package stores,
For
okay?
sure.
Now, he says he wants a limited. If sales doesn't go good, he might add more and become a complete package store. You know, and I'm not even stopping you to say that, I'm giving you an example. We have these clubs come in here and restaurants come in, we open a restaurant, we want a liquor license. So we approve the liquor license, and it, next thing you know, we got a discotheque there, or a dance hall, and
Yeah.
and a bar with
I know
dancing
what
all
you're
night.
saying.
Because they change the rules. Once they get the license, they change what they wanna do. All right, and our problem is we're trying to stop that.
I
We're trying to
understand.
control the problems on Essex Street. So when a new restaurant come in, like the one that just came in here now, tonight,
Mm.
before you, we asked them, what are you gonna do? No dancing. He said, positive, I wanna close at 9 o'clock, maybe some, couple hours to sit at the bar and let people drink. That's it. That's okay. No dancing, no nothing. He says, yes. Now, he's got a full liquor license. If he doesn't make the business, how do we know he ain't gonna change it like the other clubs did and make a dance hall out of it?
Can I, just to answer that too a little bit, and I'm not exactly sure how you guys would feel about this, but I can tell you when I opened in Melrose, Melrose was dry. I was the first liquor store in town. And they made me, in order for me to be able to do this, they made me agree to things that weren't even necessarily in compliance with the state. But I was willing to do it because I wanted the license. So I had to agree to my hours being a certain time. I had to agree that I would not sell certain products, that I wouldn't carry certain bottle sizes. And those were things that they held me to. It was contingent to my license.
Well, Lawrence is not a dry town.
No, I
Lawrence
know.
is a very, well, liquor town.
So, thank you. Let me, and then, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the last thing that I wanted to add in is, Sam's Food Store, previously Store 24, has been in the community for, what would you say, 20+ years?
I was a police officer there, so it was in the 70s, they were there, they were there,
Okay.
in the 90s.
So a very long time. That business has been there for a very long time. It's been a pillar of Lawrence's community. So, we just want to bring in something for our customers to have as an other option when they're shopping with us. It's not to change our existing concept. We're a Sam's Food Store, we're a marketplace. And we just want people to enjoy our
I
marketplace.
understand what you're saying. Your store's been there for 24 years, to 30 years, 40 years, or whatever it could be. Jack in the Box, I forget what they call it, Big and Beefy, they want to call it, right?
Yeah.
It's been there for years.
Correct.
His business has been there for years.
Correct. Yep.
His business has been there for years.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, you wanna come in and step into their business. You're gonna, you say I wanna have limited things. Limited things be turned out to be more than limited. Always turn out to be more limited. But I'm done talking, so.
Thank you. Counsel, did you want to say anything?
Yeah, I just, I'll take just a moment, but I just want to just put a few things on the record. One is that, just because the discussion got into zoning, I just want to be clear so that the board is aware that we did get the constructive approval, but the underlying issue really was that the zoning regulations say that there can't be liquor, the regs actually say liquor sales within 1,000 feet of one another. That's what the regulations say. But if you go through the community, you'd be hard pressed to find any store, whether off premise or on premise, that is not within 1,000 feet of another liquor sale. So it's about consistency and uniformity. And that's really what we're looking to do here, is that talk about consistency and uniformity, listen, I was in your chairs in the community in which I lived for many years. I understand the concerns that you're looking at. But what I always remember was that business competition could be a part of public meeting, right? And here, I think, to your point, Commissioner, what you're saying is there's a lot of liquor licenses here. This is not the creation of a new license. This is taking one from a more densely packed licensing area to a less, albeit there are other businesses in the area, but still, it's still less. And as far as usage goes, you're talking about this same license could be a Total Wine. This same license could be a large, a really large operation. It's gonna be a small, so I think when you're looking net for net liquor sales in this community, you're talking about a smaller business. And I think that you, as the board, have the authority to condition the license however you'd like. I mean, you said that, you know, police calls have gone down in this area.
I didn't say this, I haven't heard.
You haven't
I
heard?
haven't kept up
Okay.
with them lately.
Well, I think that that's accurate, and I think that, to make a decision based on an idea that it might increase in the future might not be, you know, the best, reason to deny a license, and I think that here, you know, the board has the constraints of renewal. The board has not the constraints, the opposite, they have the issue of renewal, they have the issue of, bringing in, you know, you've heard testimony today as to what they're planning on doing. They decide to do something else and they go in a different direction, that would be a misrepresentation to this board. And I think that these business owners have shown themselves to be very, very, good, smart, and honest folks. And again, I think that if you give them the opportunity, you know, I think that the idea of density, the idea of minimizing the liquor that's being sold in the city, and the proximity, we're just dealing with the facts of the city and the proximity of all the business to one another, but you're gonna find that this is in uniform or more conservative than this board, either in its current composition or prior incarnations, has granted licenses of much closer proximity all over the city. So it would not be a consistent decision to deny it on that basis. And I just think, again, that it's a limited use, and the hours can be conditioned, the scope within the store can be conditioned. You can put whatever limitations you like on it.
Thank you. Antonio?
To respond something about the on-premise business or liquor license, they don't have any limitation because they can be door to door, and that's not a problem for the rules and regulations. And most of the time, when these people apply for a liquor license and they are next to door, they apply and they send a letter to the owner saying that they're gonna apply for a liquor license. And what happened here is that, I don't know how the owner of Brother Liquor find out that this business went to zoning and come to the office and ask why we didn't know that someone is applying for a liquor license at 400 feet from my business. So as a licensing coordinator, I had to give the information to them.
Sure.
That was the problem.
So as you all know, we are a board of 2 people, and if we don't have consensus, we can't, it won't go through. And so one thing I want to say is that the current mayor that we have is a small business owner. So he really does understand and prioritizes small businesses and the ties that people have to this community. So I don't want to throw that out of the window or out the door, because I know you guys have been in business for such a long time in the community of Lawrence, and we appreciate that. The minute that this came to us, it wasn't just these gentlemen, we had calls upon calls to us separately from businesses in the area, yes. And so that's where the issue lies for us. It's not that we do not want to support your business, we do, and we respect the fact that you guys are here. We also need to be aware of the people that are also our other business owners and neighbors that are making the calls, when they did see this application come through. And that is that's also an issue for us. I feel like we can't, make a, decision and do right by the community without paying attention to that. And then again, if my colleague is not in agreement, we're 2 people, so we can't move it forward.
Can I ask, how does the board feel about, so I have 2 questions. One is, how does the board feel about, as council suggested, stipulations on an approval? And 2, is there any place in Lawrence that's acceptable?
Yeah, I mean, we have a ton of spaces. There's a lot of licenses in the area. In this area in particular, I just want you guys to know that it's not personal. It's really that the business owners in the area know how congested it is, and also the issues that they've already had in the community, and we've heard them. And so that's where we are stuck in this particular point.
There's also a problem with, I don't know nothing about a liquor store. How can I set limits? I know some places that you can't sell nips I'm not gonna go in there and say you can't do this and do that. That's beyond my authority.
It
That's
happened
beyond
to
my
me.
authority.
I had to do
But respectfully,
that.
it's not beyond your
I-
authority.
listen.
You're able to, I mean, you can condition a license with really anything that's
I
acceptable to
understand
the
I can
board.
condition a license, but I don't wanna take away, like me walking into the store, cause they found a bunch of nip bottles on the ground and crack bottles of the nips made from it, and say, you can't sell them anymore. Some towns have done it. I have no problem with these guys serving their liquor. I don't see no beer bottles or liquor things around their property. Go down the street on Broadway by Fernandez, you'll see no problems down there. You don't see anything at Primo Liquors, you don't see anything at, what's the one, Discount Liquors at 109 Broadway?
103 Broadway.
103 Broadway. Oh, we'll keep an eye on them. You know, we had a problem with one store that sold 34, sold liquor to 34 minors in one night, okay? He got caught by the ABC. Somehow he beat the case. I don't know, I wasn't part of that board at the time. But he got his license back, and this guy is working hard. Everybody comes in, if you're 65 years old, you're gonna be checked for an ID.
As it should be.
He learned his lesson, okay? I don't wanna be going out every night on a Friday or Saturday night, checking on clubs, checking on package stores, or anything else. I was having Thanksgiving dinner, and I think I spoke to you about it. What happened was, I got a call from him that Broadway Liquors was selling liquor on Thanksgiving Day, right? And I went to that place, and I parked in the parking lot, and I watched all these cars pull in. Not one got into the thing, they just pulled in, thinking it was open, went to the door, got back in the car and left.
Oh, no, there's,
Checking.
you have signs all over the place, but it's still.
They still kept on coming in and coming in. I don't wanna be bothered doing Thanksgiving dinner or anything like this. So we have our regulation. You know, you gotta understand the safety of that neighborhood, the increased traffic and everything that's gonna be over there. It's a busy street now. I wouldn't see it. If she wanted to sell it to go to another place, another location, I said, beautiful. But Broadway's not the place.
The reason, we've entertained other locations, it's not like we haven't, but the reason why we came back to our existing location is because we had parking there, we have an established business there, and that's why we saw it as fit, and we were willing to adjust our hours, follow all the local laws, state laws, regulations. I just want to reiterate that we're not looking to be a packy. We own 5 other stores in the state of Massachusetts, don't have any violations or anything of that sort. And, we want to just bring in additional products for our existing customer base. We're willing to make sure that we're going above and beyond and to make sure that the city is safe and that our customers are safe and all of that stuff, right? I can't guarantee what happens outside of our property or off of our driveway, but I can guarantee that whoever parks in our car, they will be held up to the standard of all local laws, state laws and regulations.
And again, just to reiterate on the congestion issue, again, it's gonna serve the existing customer base. I mean, this is, folks want, a high-end bottle of wine or a specialty tequila or any, or small bottles or nips, and they can go to Broadway Liquors and buy, the vast array of great products that they have at that store. This is going to be something very different.
We're not gonna throw up a sign on the street that says liquor sold here now. We're not gonna market it that way. It's just that when our customers come in, they'll see it great. We don't believe in marketing for liquor. If you search any of my other locations, you won't see any marketing on websites or you won't find social media pages because it's all natural, it's organic growth. Customers see us, they'll come in and that's it, We don't wanna feed on to a problem, we just want people to be able to find us naturally.
Thank you, thank you. Lieutenant Oliveri?
So, I'll make pretty brief. As far as your business, we personally haven't had any issues there. As far as I can tell in the last couple of years, it used to be a problem when it was open 24 hours a day. Because obviously, your store being open, obviously, you probably weren't the owner, maybe you were.
Yeah, I wasn't, yeah.
So, for the police department, we haven't had any issues there. So I have no issues, I have no questions regarding your licensing.
Thank you. Lieutenant Frias?
I have no questions.
Thank you. Commissioner Laird?
I make a motion to do not approve it.
I will second the motion.
Commissioner Laird made a motion to dismiss the liquor license at 383, 385 Broadway, second by Commissioner Morales. Commissioner Laird, how do you vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Morales, how do you vote?
Yes.
Motion passed, dismiss.
You know she has the right to appeal. Just wanna let you know that.
Thank you.
Thank
For your
you.
time.
Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Have a great
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you.
Buenas noches. That was the last item?
Huh?
Was that the last item?
Yeah.
Okay.
We have the next meeting on the ninth, 12th, right?
The next meeting is going to be on the 19th.
November 19th.
November 19th.
At 5:30.
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
I'll second that.
Commissioner Morales made a motion to adjourn the meeting, second